Hi campers, it's Miss Yaz from Camp Quarantine. Today I've been busy homeschooling like many of the other mummies and daddies and all the campers out there. And it's been really interesting because one of the books that my son had to read as part of his home learning was a book about this word here. Okay, can anyone read that word? And I've scrunched it up because I really hated this picture that I painted last night. And I scrunched it up and I thought I'm going to share a book with you about this word here called resilience. Now, this book is a picture book, so it should be for children. But guess what? It's actually for adults too. And clearly I needed to read this book because last night I scrunched up this paper and realized I can just try again. So the book I'm going to read to you today, mummies and daddies and campers out there, is called The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Now, this book is so good, and I've read it before, but this week it really spoke to me in my heart because there's something about our new normal now, staying at home and not seeing our friends and having to learn with our mummies and daddies, that I always tell my son Marley that we just have to keep pushing through and trying again every day. So I'm going to read you this book and then I'm going to set you an activity, a very easy one, and I can't wait to see what you do. So let me start. This is called The Dot. Okay, and that's a dot. We know about dots because we did patterns. Okay, so the dot. The dot. The art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. So there's Vashti, that's her name, and there's her paper, and it's empty. Here's her teacher. Okay. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. A polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. So Vashti's looking pretty grumpy. And her paper's blank and her teacher's thinking, Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Vashti grabbed a felt tip pen, so that's like a texter in Australia, and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There. Ooh, look at that red. What feeling do you think Vashti's feeling if they've used red there? Bit angry, and she's jabbed the paper with a texter. What's happening here? Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, okay, sign it. Now sign it. So that's all Vashti did. There's the dot right there. Vashti thought for a moment, well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. So there's Vashti writing her name. Okay. The next week, when Vashti walked into her art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. So there's the teacher's chair, and there's Vashti's dot in a swirly gold frame with Vashti's name there. The pictures. I can make a better dot than that. She opened up her never-used-before set of watercolors and set to work. So she's going to draw a better dot. Okay. Vashti painted and painted a red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow. She discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. So there's Vashti painting lots of dots. There we go. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. I love this page. It reminds me of Matisse when we painted with sticks. It also reminds me of Yayoi Kusama, the one that did the obliteration room. Yeah, where she did lots of spots everywhere. But look at this. I love how Vashti painted a dot without painting a dot. Yeah, she's left a space there. Okay. I'll show you one more time. I love this page. Okay. Check this out, how cool. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. She's got her own exhibition. Have you been to the art gallery and gone to an art exhibition? I love the art gallery. And look, Vashti's got her own, and all of the pieces of paper, big and small, have dots all over them. That's the mark that she's making. Okay, I love this book. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw, he said. Vashti said. I bet you can, said Vashti. Me? Not me. I can't draw. A straight line with a ruler. So there's this little boy who loves Vashti's dots, and now Vashti's being like her teacher and saying, of course you can. Because remember, Vashti didn't think she could draw at the start of this book. Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. Show me. The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Ooh, he's feeling nervous. Look at those paint splodges to show how he's feeling. Do you remember the red was when she was angry? And now there's this kind of blotchy shakiness because he's nervous. Okay. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, what do you think Vashti's going to say to the little boy who's just drawn a squiggle? Give you a second to think. Do you remember what his teacher said? Her teacher said to her. Do you remember what Vashti's teacher said to her? Sign it. Do you know what happens when you sign something? You write your name, yeah? And so here they are talking, and she wants him to sign it. She has become the teacher, okay? The end. Now, would you believe for a long, long time, I felt like Vashti. And I would secretly draw. I didn't tell anybody, okay? So it turns out that Vashti, who said she couldn't draw, her mark was the dot, yeah? And in the end, she had an art exhibition, yes? I bet you all have a mark. It might not be a dot. I'll show you my mark. So after lots of years of scrunching up paper and not telling people that I could draw or I love drawing, I had to be brave. Now, being resilient means being a bit brave and jumping back up and trying again, okay? So I went from this last night to this, okay? So these are my marks. I love drawing shapes, and I love drawing plants, a lot of plants, okay? That's my mark, and my mark is thick black lines. That's what I've started to realize. All of my drawings have thick black lines, okay? My children have got their mark and their marks change, okay? My daughter is going through a phase and she's always done this, but this is her recent phase. These are her marks. It's like she puts dots on the paper. I love them. And she joins all the dots, okay? That's Stevie's mark. And they kind of remind me of the stars, yeah? Sometimes the stars make constellations where they make shapes in the sky. And that's what her marks look like. And my son Marley, he draws quite a lot. And his current mark, they all look like this. I love it. This is Marley's mark. They've all got big teeth. They've all got big eyes. And look at their nails. I love Marley's mark. So your activity today is this. For the people out there who've said, oh, Yaz, you're so good at drawing, Miss Yaz. And I'm going to mention a name. I'm going to name drop Sarah, Shahira, and Marcel's mummy. You can draw, okay? So what I want everybody to do today is I would love everybody to give it a go. I want you to show me your mark. What is something that you love to draw? Now, a lot of you showed me your bunny butts, yeah? Marley likes drawing these. He likes drawing Legos. I like drawing flowers. What do you like to draw? And it doesn't have to be a lot. Vashti's was just a dot. The little boy was just a squiggle. But you've got one job. I want you to show me the mark that you love to draw. And I want you to sign it with your name. And I would love for the mummies and daddies to send it in because I have something special coming up next week. All right. So show me what you've got. All right. Let's all be Vashti and make our mark. All right. Bye, guys.